Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the show that goes way inside the trillion-dollar sports business. Marketing, legal, business, deal-making, all kinds of political, and obviously a big time this week. NFL, two-thirds done. College football, ready for the Heisman and the Bowls. Controversy, clearly Ohio State, Alabama, but that's about it. Everybody realizes the system keeps everybody's interest for at least 2 months, maybe more. Now, are there too many bowls? No. We'll get into that later. NHL, NBA, obviously down the road. If you want all 15 of our topics, plus our 5 tech and our 5 power of sports topics, then tune in or look at CSN Mid-Atlantic, CSN Washington, and our website. But also go Google Play, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, Audio Boom, and all the places you can get stuff. This week, it's all about golf as well. Molly Solomon from NBC and the Golf Channel talks about Tiger, what happened with him moving the needle at the Hero World Challenge. But I digress. We'll get into a few other issues first. And what do we get into first? We have no choice but to get into college football, obviously. Alabama, the 4th and final spot over Ohio State. People in Columbus not very happy, but that's the nature of the game. Mention my name, mention it well, mention it not, but mention it. CFP slotting comes with a side dish of huge national intrigue and debate. Catnip to the CFP selection committee, broadcast partners, and host cities. We will cover a comprehensive breakdown of the numbers behind all of college football bowls next week and the week after. But the conference championships certainly did pretty well. For example, 75,000 fans or so in Charlotte, 76,000 or so in Atlanta, 65,000 in Indy, about 64,000 in Dallas, at or near capacity. But the bigger numbers involves television. CBS led the way with an 8.4 overnight rating for the SEC championship, marking the game's best figure since the Auburn-Missouri shootout 2013 drew an 8.7. Fox turned out an 8.0 for the Big Ten title game, marking the second best figure on record since it started in 2011. And it's officially bowling season. Get ready for it.
Can't get enough of your team? SB Nation's 300-team regional and sports-centric communities are built just for you. Join your fellow fans at SBNation.com for all the best sports news, conversation, and opinion. SBNation.com. Your team, your community.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
If you are age 85 or younger, Call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage. And the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
The sun can make your outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable you can't use it. But now there's the Sunsetter Retractable Awning. A Sunsetter Retractable Awning opens and closes in just 60 seconds, and it keeps your patio about 20 degrees cooler. It provides instant shade and protection from the sun's harmful rays. You can get your Sunsetter for as little as $5.99 when you call now to get your special $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit. You're going to love your Sunsetter Retractable Awning. Sunsetter awnings are assembled in America and guaranteed to last. So call 800-692-0268 now to get a free awning idea kit with DVD plus your $200 Sunsetter discount certificate. This is a limited time offer, so call 800-692-0268. That's 800-692-0268 for your free awning idea kit with DVD and $200 discount certificate. There's no obligation, so call 800-692-0268 now.
Understand it, it's a big deal. But with bowling season comes other economics, and other economics in many ways key to stadiums. San Diego State unveiled plans for a mixed-use stadium in Mission Valley where the Chargers used to play. Remember them? 35,000-seat stadium for SDSU, 2 hotels, 4,500 housing units, and students, faculty, public, 90 acres of parkland, plazas, and walkways. Stadium designed to accommodate a pro soccer team. San Diego's in the mix to land a MLS team in the future, remaining expandable if the NFL ever returns to San Diego, whether it's today or 4,000 years from now. The external consultants, by the way, value the project at $3 billion. It would also likely ensure the Holiday Bowl remains in San Diego after a 39-year run so far. Well, how about another stadium or another game? It's called The Game, and it's moving to Fenway next season. Annual matchup between Harvard and Yale, leaving the traditional campus sites in exchange for one of the country's most historic venues. Boston-based Harvard serves as the home team when the two sides square off for the 135th time. The Harvard-Yale matchup sells out both schools' respective campus venues on an annual basis. Attendance for the 2016 matchup, about 31,000. Harvard Athletics Department confirmed the two schools have not played each other at a location other than Harvard Stadium or the Yale Bowl since 1912. So this comes as a significant change in the rivalry. Fenway, a super fan experience, and I know student athletes will be very excited about playing our biggest rival at a sold-out Fenway Park, said Coach Tom Murphy. My take is this. Even though it's not a Power 5 conference matchup, this iconic rivalry definitely deserves an iconic venue and the bigger capacity for fans that comes with it. We're not just talking about stuff that happens on the field and in the stadium. We're also talking about the marketing departments. Stanford using the Facebook Watch to promote Bryce Love for the Heisman Trophy. They sent many players to New York for the Heisman ceremony. In the last 8 years, they've all come up just short. Toby Gerhardt, 2009. Andrew Luck, 2010 and 11. Christian McCaffrey in 15. All three finished second in the voting. Gerhardt and McCaffrey finished behind Alabama running backs Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry, respectively. Luck lost to scintillating quarterback in Cam Newton and Robert Griffin III. Now, Stanford has another player in the Heisman conversation, Bryce Love. Well, he trails Baker Mayfield. And by the way, he should have read the memo that told him to beat Southern Cal. And so I'm not sure if a Facebook Watch platform to promote the star running back with a new episodic series called Heisman Love makes any difference. The biggest difference probably left last week against USC at the Pac-12 championship, but yet marketing is more and more important relative to subjective votes like the Heisman. And don't forget it. Let's look at soccer. First of all, as far as domestic and MLS, we have a lot of issues here that we probably ought to take a look at, and the bottom line is how to use leverage. Detroit, Cincinnati, Nashville, Sacramento announces the 4 finalists to land an MLS expansion franchise this next year. 2 of the 4 in 17, while the other 2 unsuccessful finalists will rejoin 8 other cities for 18. Detroit bid presents an interesting twist, since the city's proposal calls for a team to play at Ford Field, home of the Lions, instead of a soccer-specific stadium. In the other 3 cities, financing for soccer-specific stadiums has been approved or is still pending official approval. And despite the lack of a soccer stadium, Detroit's bid satisfies other criteria that could ultimately make the difference in helping it win. MLS officials have said they're seeking owners with comparatively more money than some of the earlier and current owners, as well as experience owning sports franchises. And you know what? Detroit's bid is spearheaded by Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert and Pistons owner Tom Gores, and also includes Lions owner Martha Firestone Ford. Gilbert, Gores, and Ford have been powerful forces behind Detroit's downtown gradual renaissance, and an MLS franchise would only bolster that effort. Well, how about soccer broadly? Soccer World Cup-wise? Well, Telemundo, preparing for its first go-round as the holder of Spanish-language media rights for the 18 World Cup in Russia. Telemundo, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer, already built a studio on Moscow's Red Square for all the pregame, halftime, and postgame. The network also planning on broadcasting some of its World Cup programming from FIFA in Moscow and more from its new $250 million headquarters outside Miami. The NBCU-owned network does not expect its viewership numbers to take a hit with the absence of the U.S. men's team, instead focusing on culture and the tournament's international appeal. To keep the ratings up, we'll just have to see. The main Telemundo broadcast network will air 56 of the tourney's 64 games, with the 8 others on cable channels Universo, NBC Sports Olympic President, Production Programming, and Telemundo World Cup Executive Producer, that's a mouthful, Jim Bell. So there'll be well over 500 hours of live programming. And while the sideline of the men's team is not a disaster for Telemundo, it could well be for Fox, which holds U.S. broadcast rights to the tourney after winning a $200 million bid and has basically nothing to show for it except the ambiance of soccer as well. Let's see how that turns out. Well, the countdown to kickoff officially begun for that event. FIFA commercial director Philippe de Flock insisted that the World Cup will make its income target, despite major nations like the U.S. and Italy failing to qualify. FIFA has an ambitious income target of $5.6 billion, and the success of the sponsorship deals has varied across regions, with the North American market stalling. Obviously, FIFA has been tasked with finding 4 North American sponsors in a new and stalled regional sales program. And despite FIFA's confidence in hitting its marker, others outside the international soccer governing body, not so optimistic. The backdrop to 2018 World Cup sales includes uncertainty over FIFA's exposure to production, falling oil prices, sanctions imposed on Russian businessmen, and issues with the next host in line, Qatar. All of these uncomfortable hurdles make it all the more likely, relatively scandal-free, at least for the moment, North America will hold landing rights to the 2026 tournament. I think it's a virtual lock. I can't think of any reason why they wouldn't do that. But then again, we said it about the Qatar bid, so you never, ever, 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 ever know. Other soccer issues league-wide, English soccer top-tier side Manchester City is set to put pen on paper to a deal with German sponsor Puma to replace Nike as their official kit sponsor. The Daily Mail reported that the agreement is worth about $67 million a year, a significant increase on the club's current deal, and will begin in the 1920 season. Nike agreed to a 6-year deal with Man City in 2013, worth about $109 million. But the American sportswear company's existing partnership is due to come to the end at the close of 17-18, at the close of this year. The agreement would be the largest commercial deal in the Blues portfolio. Puma, the official kit supplier of fellow Premier League side Arsenal, who agreed to a 5-year deal with a German sports apparel company in 2013, worth $40 million a year. Man City currently at the top of the Premier League in 17 and 18, 8 points clear of home rivals Man U, and unbeaten in their opening 13 games. And while the deal won't directly affect World Cup matches, you could bet Puma has World Cup marketing opportunities in its sights. Let's talk about Spain and La Liga. They've talked about their possibility of hosting a match outside Spain. Heavyweights Barcelona and Real Madrid played an exhibition match against each other, as we know, in Miami last July. A success. And the league is currently reviewing options to host 1 or 2 of its 380 matches outside of Spain. It pulled off, and as it moves forward, if it does, will mark the first time the league has done so. We're thinking about it, said the guys who run the league.
The following update is for drivers who pay too much for car insurance due to DUIs, DWIs, tickets, or anything else. By now, you know all too well that SR22 auto insurance is way more than you'd ever want to pay. You probably thought you didn't have a choice, but you were wrong. Our company specializes in low-cost, very affordable SR22 auto insurance for high-risk drivers. We know that mistakes happen, so take pride in being able to offer absolutely free quotes for this very affordable auto insurance meant specifically for you, the overpaying high-risk driver. We're standing by at 800-758-0725. The only thing you need to do is stop waiting around while your monthly payments stay as high as they are. Our knowledgeable representatives are ready for your call at 800-758-0725. The quote is free, and we'll even handle the filings so you could start saving money every month even sooner. Call 800-758-0725. That's 800-758-0725. Once more, 800-758-0725.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. I've got an offer to tell you about to provide home security for your home for a simple rate as low as $19.99 a month. For real, with no installation or equipment charges. And this is from a company rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happens. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For as low as $19.99 a month with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
Call 800-587-4281. 800-587-4281. 800-587-4281. Call now. That's 800-587-4281.
Javier Tebas, first time abroad would probably be in the U.S., and over the past few summers, Some of the European best teams have embarked on tours throughout the U.S. as part of the International Champions Cup. But those were merely exhibitions that infrequently showcased each team's top players. La Liga is evaluating a 2-year target to host a league match abroad. And American sports leagues have been trailblazers in in-season international play, and now it's only a matter of time, I think, before other international leagues follow, except going the reverse. So in the NBA, as the holiday season unfolds, Dallas Mavericks point guard Seth Curry continues to partner with online education partner EverFi on an important local venture. In September, the 27-year-old Curry, son of Dell and brother of Steph, through his foundation, launched Venture. EverFi's taken an active role in engaging in this entrepreneurship program and middle schools throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Curry is now engaging and encouraging students to think entrepreneurially about business and about life. The program's digital course uses case studies, interactive business simulations, personal development activities to teach important basic business skills. And not only will the students be taught how to think entrepreneurially, they'll develop their own personal business plans along with a roadmap for academic and career success. Together, the partners hope to reach hundreds of students in the first year of this initiative, and kudos to Curry and EverFi for challenging kids to dream big about their business futures. The vast majority will not involve multi-million-dollar NBA and or shoe deals. And if you always think of Steph, you think of others like LeBron James. LeBron James and Morgan Spurlock, by the way, teamed up on an I Promise School documentary. Morgan Spurlock's Warrior Poets and LeBron James' Spring Hill Entertainment are partnering on a documentary series that chronicles James' launch of a public school for at-risk children in his hometown of Akron. The series, beginning shooting in Akron soon, will explore the challenges, triumphs, and impact of the LeBron James Family Foundation's efforts to open the I Promise School, as well as the first-year trials of working within a local public school system aimed at children who are fighting uphill battles every single day. The series will also highlight the educators, mentors, and community partners committed to establishing a new approach to education from an early age. Being able to create this school to specifically meet the needs of these kids and families means everything to me, says James. So many kids and families struggling. We want this school to be a safe, positive place that helps them stay on the right track and earning their educations. Having Spring Hill Entertainment as an amazing filmmaker like Morgan Spurlock here to document this process is huge. Good for the NBA, clearly, and also really, really good for LeBron and philanthropists and people who do good and do well all over the country. NBA is preparing for a trip to Mexico this week. In more basketball news, the Brooklyn Nets set to play the Thunder December 7th, and the Miami Heat 2 days later. Despite the league's continued push to expand its international presence, there are a lot of issues like playing games. It's tough due to travel consideration. Spending so much time preventing 4 games out of 5 nights completely, dramatically limiting the number of back-to-backs, said NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. And if they travel internationally, they need rest when they get there, and then they need rest when they get back, because we know there's a correlation between fatigue and injury. Historically, London and Mexico City have been 2 popular destinations for hosting regular season NBA games, and other preseason matchups being played in countries as far as China, as we know. And one of the focal points this offseason was making a schedule to protect players from overbearing travel. So it's hard to see how this really matches up to that mindset, but yet it's really important to see how they can expand globally and beyond. Well, speaking of global expansion, the Golden State Warriors' $60 million patch deal with Japanese electronic commerce giant Rakuten was explored. And you take a look at it. 2.5-inch by 2.5 patch. David Stern and then Adam Silver suggested this 2 years ago, and many in the sports world wondered how the move to placing corporate names on uniforms would play out. WNBA moved to add sponsors in 2009, but this would mark the first time one of the four major North American leagues had engaged in a sponsor logo outside the official uniform manufacturers. Each of the 30 clubs would be responsible for inking its own deal, creating unique processes and alignments for each market and brand. Adam Silver said at the time, "We're always thinking about innovative ways the NBA can remain competitive in the global marketplace. As the NBA looks at other markets, and as companies like Rakuten come into the fold, especially with the Warriors, it looks really good for the future of NBA from a global perspective." Before we get into our interview, let's talk about a couple of NFL issues, which I think are probably not overlooked, but probably pretty significant for the NFL. The NFL Experience in Times Square opened last week. Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, Roger Goodell, and Brandon Marshall ushering through the first groups. NFL Experience President Daniel Bukvar described the 40,000-square-foot four-floor space as a cross between the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Disneyland, and Dave & Buster's. Admission fees, by the way, $39 to $44. No discounts for children. That's too bad. The space allows for 1 million, expected to draw even more than that, 1 million visitors in its first year. Translates into $39 million in admissions revenue. Centerpiece of the experience is an immersive 180-seat theater showing a 10-minute NFL-produced movie. The 2,000-square-foot fourth-floor concession and gift shop can morph into an event space already booked for future events. The experience is also a joint venture between the NFL and Cirque du Soleil. AEG and the NFLPA are also partners. The NFL expects the Times Square location, league-wide promotion, plus the interactive football skills elements will make the experience a must-see for NFL fans visiting the Big Apple. And then the other issue, which I think may be one of the bigger issues the NFL has to consider as it goes forward, is the NFL unprecedented agreement with the players to partner on a plan that will address social justice issues considered important to American communities. The league agreed to contribute nearly $90 million over the next 7 years on select projects dealing with criminal justice reform, law enforcement, community relations, and education. Malcolm Jenkins, the Eagles receiver, and former player Anquan Boldin led the Players Coalition in negotiations, and it's a bigger contribution to a social issue than Salute to Service, breast cancer awareness, Crucial Catch, and the like. The new agreement had a little controversy. Some of the players broke off. Roger Goodell didn't like that press. But at the end of the day, a really good move by the league on many levels. And let's see how the players respond or not during pregame ceremonies in the coming weeks. We know how we spent a lot of time talking about the big four sports. But one of the things we found in a conference that was held last week by the Sports Business Journal called Dealmakers that I was lucky enough to attend is that the smaller leagues are getting economically vibrant results as well. 2 new expansion teams in San Diego and Philly for the NLL. The New England Black Wolves, co-owner of the MLL franchise, said that the new franchises could cost between $3.5 to $5 million. Seattle Storm co-owner Jenny Gilder said that $8 to $10 million might be the right number for the WNBA. And these storylines might not be the top headlines for those in the big four sports, but teams in the minor leagues, or let's call them non-major leagues, are slowing, and they're slowly but significantly starting to establish themselves more firmly with numbers that are up 20 to 50% in many cases. And as we know, it's all relative. Golf is not a smaller sport, but it's not one of the big four. It's done and treated entirely differently. Had a really interesting time with the tournament the first week in December, which usually doesn't focus on that much excitement in the golf industry, college football, obviously, NFL, but with Tiger Woods qualifying and doing well in the Hero World Challenge at the Albany Golf Course in the Bahamas, it provides a whole new perspective. NBC and their ownership of the Golf Channel has been unparalleled in using that network to promote their entire golf programming. And Molly Solomon has been promoted to executive producer of that space for content for the NBC networks and for the Golf Channel. Molly's worked on Olympics. She's worked on golf, been incredibly diverse. She can tell us how golf moves the needle, how Tiger Woods moves the golf needle, and the future plans for golf in the business of sports. Molly Solomon.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, beyond the scoreboard, beyond the boardroom, keeping score. All of those labels are appropriate for a trillion-dollar sports business, and we're not sure what the biggest sporting events are now. It doesn't really matter. We're heading to a Super Bowl. We're heading to the Winter Olympics. Obviously, the golf season is going to start, and we are treated with somebody who has a significant amount of experience in all of that, the EVP of content and the vice president and the kind of world-renowned Molly Solomon. How's that for an intro?
I like that, Rick. Thank you so much.
World-renowned. We'll put that on the business card. So
don't tell my kids.
Is obviously bullish on the business of golf and bullish on the Golf Channel. The numbers and metrics say that since you were involved with the NBC Sports Group in 2011, there's maybe a direct correlation, but viewership in the Golf Channel is up 60%.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780. Nobody really needs or wants home security until it's too late. You've heard the statistics about how many burglaries there are per day. You see the news. You know there are people out there that do bad things. The best way to help protect your home and your property is with an ADT monitored system from Protect Your Home, an ADT authorized premier provider. Call right now to get a free wireless home security system valued at $850. An ADT monitored system can help protect your home from fires, theft, floods, and call for emergency help. Call now to find out more about our $850 free wireless home security system and start enjoying the peace of mind of security today. Call 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281. This offer is for new customers only. Termination fees apply. $99 customer installation charge and 36-month monitoring agreement required. All for details. License terms and conditions available at secureathome.com.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Work as the executive producer. I came at such a great time, right? 2013, I finished the 2012 Olympics in London, so came down the fall of 12, and in 2013, Tiger Woods won 5 times that year. So I will credit a lot of this to Tiger Woods, but also, we just live golf tournaments as possible and do storytelling and build stars through those platforms. So over the years, we've increased our live viewership a lot because we put on more tournaments from around the world, and the game of golf and professional golf is growing. So we've done that, but we've also looked at kind of untilled earth in like the NCAA championships in college golf, the World Long Drive Tour, places like that. So there's a lot of golf that wasn't televised that was really, really good events. And so we've looked under all corners and we found a lot of compelling stuff. And, we're trying to fill the calendar with live sporting events. I mean, that's what, networks really look for to capture people because there's so much good content, SVOD everywhere else. But live events is where it's at, and that's what we're trying to do.
We all understand that as veterans of the business that live events carry the day. It's the ultimate reality television. But the Ebersolian Mark Lazarus school of effective storytelling can kind of percolate down, not only because you do cover live events the right way and the good way, but NBC and the family of networks certainly has storytelling, huh?
I agree. And the thing is, we show events, on Golf Channel from around the world. So really the onus falls on us to make you care about so many international golfers, because I don't think there's any sport in the world that's more international on a week-to-week basis across all tours than golf. And so, we have a research unit that's dedicated. You should see the notes we put out every single week on every single tour with all the biographies of all the golfers. And really we charge, our announcers with tell us stories, tell us who they are, and make me care. And I think it's working. I think they're doing a terrific job.
Well, one personal experience, the new tournament that was sponsored by the Guggenheim Life folks in Indianapolis, and Dan Towers, who is involved in it, were, very excited, as opposed to some of the early days where there are clearly LPGA challenges about, candidly, telling the players apart and trying to figure it out. And the key has been successful storytelling. Again, another feather in the Golf Channel's cap.
Yes, and, give the LPGA credit, too, because they have really, worked with their players on, telling their own story. What's your personal brand? Tell us about it. A lot of the Asian players speak excellent English, so they can tell their own story, but equally so on a week-to-week basis. I mean, I would put our LPGA announce team up against anybody in sports in terms of what they do week to week to tell you more about these players and where they come from and what their story is.
How do you help? I know it's up to the individual tours and organizations to get more kids, get more women, get more non-golfers, get more avid golfers. But do you work directly or indirectly or both with those organizations to try to promote the game and get more people interested in playing?
Growing the game is really, it's one of our company goals, right? Because when you think about it, if we're not going to start working on sustainability and making sure that this next generation is interested in golf, the business of golf goes away for a whole lot of us. So I've seen the commitment amongst the tours, the governing bodies, and Golf Channel just there's one thing we're working on really well together, and that's growing the game. And I think the terrific example is what Billy Payne and the PGA of America and the USGA have done behind drive, chip, and putt, which is, it's really a year-long qualifying process to get kids to try out and make the national finals at Augusta National the Sunday before the Masters. But in the meantime, you're learning to drive, chip, and putt. It's fun to do. And so we've really tried to raise the awareness. And if you look at sports participation numbers over the last few years, girls in golf is the fastest growing segment in sports participation. So I think we're doing something right as a collective group, but there's always more to do. And also, thinking about golf in a different way. Golf doesn't have to be a traditional 18 holes to define it as a sport. And so what you see like with Top Golf and entertainment golf coming of age, somebody that goes and plays Top Golf on a Friday night is a golfer. My daughter and I go out every Saturday afternoon and we walk and we play 9 holes. We don't need to play 18 holes, but 9 holes fit so much better in our busy schedules, and we can take our cell phones out on the course, and that's all okay. So it's about breaking old rules down and making it fit into modern life. And so I feel like the entire sport is really committed to growing the game.
And as iconic Golden Bear becomes Olden Bear, and as others who have been purists understand growing the game means the 15-inch cup and the tee it forward and the Frisbee golf, how do you feel about maintaining the balance between the purist who wants to remember golf as it used to be and those who are interested in golf as it might be?
I think there's room in the tent for everybody, right? When you go out, for example, my kids and I are deciding what to do next week while we have vacation, and there's going to be different forms of golf every single day, but it doesn't have to be traditional. But in the end, we are going to go play 18 holes, and we're going to record a score, and we're going to get it, it's going to contribute to our handicap. I think you just have to have it all in balance, and ultimately, if the professional tours are going to stick with an 18-hole round with the same size cup and everything, that's okay. But I think we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot if we weren't open to trying new things and having people enjoy golf in a more modern way.
Tiger's coming back. Tiger Hero World Challenge. It's one of the pegs to this, and it's oversimplification to say in 1999 and beyond, Tiger changed the game and the Pied Piper, and certainly brought more people interested in the golf. He still moves the needle. The old Tigerization of the tour isn't as important as it today as it was then. What's your take on? First of all, I'm not going to ask you as a doctor to prognosticate Tiger's health, but what's the future of Tiger Long Tour and the impact of him on the game?
What's interesting to all of us in the last few weeks since he announced he was coming back, and it was unexpected, I think, for all of us. It was kind of like a holiday surprise in December to have him come back, and I can talk about that. But what we find, because we deal with, players on a daily basis, is how much he's impacted Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth. Like their desire, their commitment, all these things all emanate from watching Tiger growing up. So what I wanted to see over the last 2 years, as you've seen all those young players win big tournaments, even win majors, gosh, you just think, wouldn't it have been great to see Tiger compete against these young kids, because their competitiveness and everything else stemmed from what they saw. So we'd have loved to see him in his prime compete against them. And, he's going to be 42, I believe, on December 30th. So I'm not sure we're ever going to get that, but, something in me, the sports fan, wishes that we'd get him one more time for a really, a good long year or two, and see what he could bring back. To see him win one more time on tour, I think would be absolutely thrilling. But this, in my mind, from what I've read, and I'm not a doctor either, this is the last comeback. When you have spine fusion surgery, this is the last time you get to try to do this. If this doesn't work, he's probably going to become a full-time dad again. But he moves the needle. He is the needle, as John Hawkins used to say with Golf World, and he's gonna increase our ratings by 40% by just being there. So as a TV producer, I'm excited about that. But as a sports fan, I'm really excited just to see him play, and you really hope it's gonna be a positive in a couple weeks' time.
Those are great numbers to remember and to focus on as we go to that tournament. I heard a rumor that NBC Family of Networks is going to underwrite and sponsor the comeback of Michael Jordan, Cal Ripken, Tiger Woods, and Babe Ruth. Is there any truth to that?
We'll take all and any of those guys to come back. It's like reminiscing, right? But it's so hard to believe that it's been almost 10 years since he won a major championship. I mean, that's a lifetime in golf. But, the rumor is on social media that he's hitting it as far as ever. So we'll see. But we also don't want to, it's such an editorial conundrum, because you don't want to overhype, because we don't know how long this is going to last. But you also don't want to underhype, because is this the start of something? I don't know. All I know is we've extended our coverage, and we're going to be there to chronicle it. But I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. And don't look now, but between Ricky Fowler and Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas, shameless plug, two out of those three, I'm kind of in the house between them, and I've got to tell you, the trash talking and the friendliness and the rivalry of the young guns on the tour is going to be great for golf for years, don't you think?
I do, and it's so different from the Tiger era, kind of connecting the dots. The Tiger era was an era of intimidation and domination, and this is a different, more collegial, dare we say, millennial sort of competitiveness, right? They grew up, and I think the difference is they really did grow up on the AJGA, on the junior, on the college circuit together, so they are good friends, but they do want to beat each other's brains in, but they are there to shake their hand or hug them at the end of the round or at the end of the tournament, and it's unique, and it's so inclusive, right? You want to be part of their friend group because they share it with you on social. So they've really given us something to build on, and the fact they have been really, really consistent, all of them over the last 2 years, it's such a great harbinger for the PGA Tour.
Well, and the Golf Channel helps because obviously they do this and they know that it's going to be carried right and with great taste. Let's shift gears for a couple of minutes because when you think Olympics, I think of Molly Solomon. Hopefully other people do too. So we started in '92 as a researcher, but then in '08 in Beijing and the 500 hours, and then London and Vancouver. So you certainly have had your experience in Olympic programming. First of all, what is the future of Olympic programming broadly defined, especially since certainly 3 of the Olympics in the future and previously have been in not just different time zones but far off parts of the world?
They have, and what's been remarkable is watching, we started with, I think it was 170 hours in Atlanta when we were live, and it was on one network, and now they'll be across the networks of NBC, and every single minute that's contested in South Korea will also be streamed. So really, we've emptied the buckets. NBC Universal has figured out how to show you everything, so as a fan experience, it's tremendous, and it really is the last bastion that brings the family together to watch the Olympics. It's so water cooler. And what I think is going to be really amazing, it started to kind of unfurl in 2016 with social media. But social media now, I don't want to say dominates our life, but it's a part of our daily life now, even more so than in 16. So I'll find it very, very curious to see how America reacts to the Olympics and the highlights and the storytelling on social as well, because you can really get anything you want anytime and interact with athletes there as well. So this is, to me, it's going to be a social Olympics.
Yeah, and the other thing about the long-term Olympic process, too, and, Scott Blackman likes this and others from the USOC and otherwise, but how does the network feel about the broad stability, not only of having Summer and Winter Olympics pretty much committed through 2028, which has never been done before, but second, that the one that's committed last is in our country. Good stuff for everybody.
Imagine a planning process where you don't know where the biggest sporting event on earth is going to be until 7 years before. And 7 years may sound to your listeners as a long time, but it's really not. So the ability for all of us to be thinking about Paris in 2024. So every year the Golf Channel, when we go do the Ryder Cup next year, is going to be on the same golf course that the Olympics is in 2024. It helps us to be more prepared. Every year we go to the French Open, not in tennis, but in golf, and they play it on that golf course, and that helps us with planning. And the same thing with NBC, the ability to think about LA in 2028 and plan as a business unit, as a corporation, it's just invaluable. So we're really excited, but we're not looking past 2020, Rick, and the Tokyo Olympics.
Wow, you sound like every football player that ever.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
Existed that talks about a game 2 weeks from now with a game 1 week from now. You got the plan down, Pat. Couple quick ones. 1992, you're a researcher for the Barcelona Olympics. Did you ever think Molly Solomon would be where she is today?
In 1992, I didn't know anything about golf. So and I never played as a kid, but a year after the Barcelona Olympics, when I was assigned to be the graphics production associate and do stats on golf, I had to study everything. I remember going to the 1993 Bob Hope Classic, and I fell in love with the sport. The next week, I went to a golf school and learned to play. I met my husband at the 1994 Solheim Cup. So many things. It's a measure that you don't know which direction your life's going to go. If you would have told me I was going to work at Golf Channel when I was 23, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah, but listen, you're in a great family and working with great people. And my final question, so the lady graduates magna cum laude from Georgetown University's School of Foreign Service in 1990. What's harder, sports or politics?
Gosh, I remember thinking about this after I left Georgetown, that everything I learned, superficially looked like it all went away when the wall fell. But, that's why getting into the Olympics made too much sense, right? I understood the world. I understood so many, different countries, their politics, their governments, and it really actually helped me in the Olympics because the Olympics, as you know, it's about politics, government, culture, and, sports fits in. So that all made sense, but I remember my dad saying, you got to take the Foreign Service exam. I paid for 4 years of this. And I said, I'm going to work in sports television.
Well, listen, you made the right decision. The Olympics are better for it, and certainly golf is better for it. Molly Solomon, EVP of Content and everything else at the Golf Channel. Thanks a lot. Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard. Speak with you in a couple of minutes.
Well, we'd like to thank Molly Solomon for adding some perspective as we head away from the golf television programming, at least for a couple of months, until we get back to an enticing Hawaii, California, and Florida at the beginning of the year. In the meantime, we'd like to thank Molly and thank Tanner Simpkins and Dan Martin for helping to put this podcast together, and thank you for watching and listening and joining us next time when we go Beyond the Scoreboard.
Freaks of speed and motorheads. It's Kenny Sargent with Speed Freaks. Be sure to catch Crash Gladys, Statman, and yours truly every Sunday night, 7 to 9 Pacific, 10 to midnight Eastern. That's right, Speed Freaks on the Sports Byline Radio Network.